Let's see. Okay, we are live. Hello everyone who is able to watch us. We should probably let the opening ad play through. Okay, I mean, if you're watching this if you're able to watch this, hello. We're gonna take a couple seconds just to have the opening ad go down. Hey, hello, everyone. This is Easy Sports New York City. We are the Tetrio division, and we will be hosting another one of our round robin matches today. I am your broadcaster, Kurt Cyan Cyber, joined by.
Hey, I'm Bad Goblin. I'm one of your commentators for today, and we are excited to bring you two banger matches coming up. Our first is Stuyvesant's third team up against Brooklyn Tech's third team. Battle of the Threes here. Now, it's really interesting.
Mild correction. We have moved around the match schedule today, and it'll be.
Oh yeah.
Right. It will be the Stuyvesant number 2 team versus the Brooklyn Tech number 1 team. Sorry for that, but it's we just have to move matches around today.
Absolutely, scheduling stuff happens, but either way, getting into it here, we will of course be starting with our overs for each team, the stronger player, and then moving on to the unders to close it out. Now, the over on the side of Brooklyn Tech, number 1 in this match is Sloppy Potatoes going up against Top Out 911 from Sty. So this should be an interesting match. Top Out, someone we've actually seen on stream before, so we know the prowess that they can show, both with a little bit of opener gaming as well as in that mid game. Their ability to downstack and maintain a clean board state has proven really, really useful.
Yeah, of course. And then just want to point out that Stuyvesant number 2 is currently on a perfect win record in the overall tournament. So we'll see if they can maintain their win streak and keep their win streak alive today in their match against Brooklyn Tech. Brooklyn Tech definitely has a very strong over their own. Sloppy Potatoes, a low U rank, definitely one of the strongest players in the tournament. So very interesting matchup that we'll see today.
Absolutely, and hey, excited to get into it. So
yeah, we just need both players to be ready, and we will get started pretty soon.
All right, and here we go.
Alright, Top Out 911, starting out with TKI, sorry, but Sloppy Potatoes with SDPC. Already sent garbage, not able to get the PC out of it, but able to downstack for a great 13 spike to open up their board a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Top Out in a really rough spot here, even before that misdrop, and this could seal the deal. Sloppy coming in with 100 APM of 09 goodness to bring it up to 1-0. As a reminder, points carry over in this format, so every round matters. So great to get a head start there. And we're going to see Top Out responding with this DT cannon. And it seems that Sloppy Potatoes now, the one misdropping, could prove to be really, really, really hard to deal with. If they can get this Kaidan off, greeting for it a little bit, but they do manage to get it off and maintain back-to-back. But they are forced to skim out as they take a combo to get back down.
Right, Top Out 911 also in a bit of a downstack of their own, looking to open up the well they have on the left side of their board, while Sloppy Potato is sitting on a lot of garbage, able to take a quad, and is going to look for a T-spin to maintain a little bit back-to-back, but chooses to break it immediately. Top Out 911, though, now have a lot of garbage on the board, extremely clean 9-0 stack, but Sloppy Potato all the way at the bottom. So another player with that much ammo right now, both looking to kind of get out of this mid-game position, with Top Out sent up really high.
Absolutely great STSC coming out from Sloppy Potatoes there, and this back-to-back is building. The clean garbage was there, even if that spike hadn't killed. Great management there from Sloppy Potatoes to bring it up to 2-0.
Of course, Top Out 911 with their signature DT cannon right now, and Sloppy Potatoes with MKO, choosing to just start a bit of a 6-3 stack out of it. So, Top Out looking for the PC, doesn't get it, but does have a T-spin set up to follow up for some sort of damage.
Absolutely. Both players looking at a pretty clean board right now, but there's some cheese buried underneath Sloppy Potatoes' upstack here, which could prove to be problematic in the future as this APM starts to build from Top Out, but the cheese is on both sides of the board now, and Top Out has made a misdrop that will almost certainly cost him the back-to-back that he was so desiring, but now he's in a really, really rough position and needs to find a way out of his own. Gets a great skim with the J180, but it will not be enough to survive, and it is now 3-0 in the favor of Sloppy Potatoes.
Yeah, definitely a great start here for the Brooklyn Tech team. Setting, a good momentum in motion, but we'll see how Stuyvesant's able to respond. Top Out number 1 once again with the DT cannon, but Sloppy Potato with the extremely clean stack, able to open up the well in just 1 second for this massive well of huge DT garbage. And Top Out needs to downstack this to access their well to be able to fight back a little bit.
Absolutely, but downstack he does, and he has opened it up with a great counter spike. Speaking of counter spike, though, Sloppy Potatoes now opening up that garbage there, going to have a great chance to respond, cycling a bit for the eyepieces to score those quads in a row, and now Top Out is looking a bit cheese, and Sloppy Potatoes is starting to speed up here on the offensive, building up that 3 back-to-back already. Going to be really, really rough for Top Out to deal with if he lets it get out of control, and he's pushed up all the way to the top right now. Manages to find a nice combo to keep holding on, but still not able to get a foothold back into this round so far. Rough eyepiece placements there on the side of Top Out, and that will bring it up to 0-4. Not the greatest start, but definitely still possible to make a comeback here on the side of Top Out, as we see this LST come into play on both sides, actually. So, Sloppy Potatoes making a misdrop, going to be forced to break back-to-back, and Top Out now is sitting on so much clean garbage, opens up the well with the combo, skimming down once more and setting over a lot of cheese in the process that will, in fact, seal the deal to put him on the board. Top Out has brought it up to 1-4.
Yeah, finally stopping the streak of game wins from Sloppy Potatoes. Sloppy Potatoes here starting off with the SDPC once again. Top Out 911 with their DT cannon. Both seems to be comfortable openers for both players. Top Out 911 with the great downstack combo 6, but has sent a massive spike by Sloppy Potatoes, who now has a fractal setup ready to go. Takes 1, and that's going to be enough to kill Top Out 911. Another 110 APM game from Sloppy Potatoes. Extremely dominant performance right now.
Alright, and here we go. This SDPC against DT, a very interesting opener matchup here. Top Out going to be left with a little bit of cheese coming out of it. Meanwhile, Sloppy Potatoes sitting on no garbage at all, but not after that mistake on rotating the T-piece. In fact, now there's 2 misdrops for Sloppy Potatoes to contend with, and they are going very, very fast in terms of skimming down, but have not quite gotten the APM that they want off so far. Top Out, though, looking very cheesed in his own right, so neither player going to have a lot of attacking potential at the moment. Sloppy Potatoes opening up the garbage there, grinning a little bit for this TSD quad, manages to get it off, and now Sloppy Potatoes is well on their way to being out and getting back to sending over all this damage to Top Out 911.
Right, Top Out with a huge well of garbage available, but Sloppy Potato finds a nice floating T-spin into a 14 spike to push Top Out 911 all the way up. Top Out 911 forced to get the whatever they can, but just wasn't enough at the top, and 6-1 advantage for Sloppy Potatoes.
Absolutely, that was some great upstack from Sloppy Potatoes there, managing that floating well to balance, accepting the garbage to not dilute the spike, and sending over all of that attack in a huge burst. But the board looking a little more unmanageable at the moment. Sloppy Potatoes sitting on so many misdrops, and they are not able to recover in time for Top Out to give them another chance at life. It is now 2-6, and Top Out is making something of a comeback here if they can keep this momentum going. And with Sloppy Potatoes wasting a T on that T-spin opener there, this may be just the opportunity to do that. They're getting a nice skim combo out with the DT, but it seems like all they may have actually done is give Sloppy Potatoes a lot more ammunition to work with.
Sloppy Potatoes currently trying to downstack a little bit of this cheesy send from Top Out. with top out with great T-spin double vision, but it's going to take a second to get the T and has to compromise on the O placement. It's not going to bode well for being able to get out of this position, and the Z miss, the Z hang at the top of the board is looking extremely precarious for top out. And Sloppy Potatoes though, but Sloppy Potatoes didn't send enough in time to actually finish top out 911 off, and top out seems to be able to get out of this.
Absolutely. Analyzing this set so far, it seems like Sloppy Potatoes is in the driver's seat almost all of the time. Top out, very comfortable in the offense, but not so much on the defense. And it seems like Sloppy Potatoes' pressure, given that almost 0.5 PPS speed advantage, has been crucial so far in the set in terms of keeping Sloppy in the one, controlling the pace of this match, and keeping top out almost constantly on the downstack.
Of course, but top out right now looking for their own sends, gets a quad, and going for another count to 4, gets it off. Going to get this nice T-spin single to keep a bit of efficiency up, and now has a lot of garbage to work with for big sends. But Sloppy Potatoes just countering all of it with cancels of their own. Just so much pressure, and it's too much for top out 911 to handle. And that's yet another game for Sloppy Potatoes.
All right, 2-7. It is looking dire for top out and the Stuyvesant team. Can they make the comeback here, or will they be going down with a major deficit going in to the unders match? Is Kaidon going to be gotten off? And Sloppy Potatoes' board state is looking, as their name might imply, a little bit sloppy at the moment. Not going to be able to accept that level of clean garbage. And now it is 3-7. Every point counts here on the comeback, and they are doing well to squeeze every ounce of opportunity that they can out of having a beneficial opening.
It seems that Sloppy Potato has misdropped their STPC opening, but is just looking to tank the garbage from a DD cannon into C-spin on the side of top out. Yeah, but Sloppy Potatoes though, that just gave, the DD cannon just gave Sloppy Potatoes all that garbage to work with, and top out 911 living up to their name, topping out, giving an 8-3 advantage to Brooklyn Tech.
All right, only 2 games away now from moving on with a 7-point lead to the under phase. But top out looking to make it a little less comfortable than that, getting that DT cannon off. But now Sloppy Potatoes doing a little bit of breeding here, not going to be in the best board state to defend, but they do get a nice sequence of T-spin doubles. We're considering the I-spin, but now they've been I misdrop instead, and this is such a rough board position on what could be such an amazing attacking opportunity. And to waste a few T-pieces there, but they do get the spike off in the end. Not after one more misdrop though, and that's going to give top out a chance to survive. And survive he will, and now it is top out who is sitting on all of this clean garbage. Such a rough position for Sloppy Potatoes to be in, and they've got some cheese there to boot. Going to be really, really hard to get out of, and they make that S misdrop that seals the deal. And now top out is catching up slowly but surely, and it is now up to 4-8.
Sloppy Potatoes with the PCO, but seems to have misdropped it, and is going to have to get out of this somehow. Looking for a potential T-spin setup, but chooses to just not go for it. Top out 911 with the DT cannon once again, but chooses to convert simply into just a 9-0 stack. But it was still looking to fix their board a little bit. Does get a T-spin double find out of the mess they had, and a great conversion into another T-spin double setup, but only got a T-spin single out of it. With top out 911 currently looking to open up their well and make their way down, probably just take a couple quads along the way, with just the clean 9-0 stack.
Alright, and speaking of clean stack here, Sloppy Potatoes going to need to clean up the stack if they want to survive the spike from top out here. Going to be speeding up here on the down stack, but will it be enough? Seems that they've got a nice T-spin single, and they've opened up that clean garbage, and now top out is the one left in a rough position. Going to find some skims here, but will it be a way out? We've yet to see. Sloppy was looking for a TST there, but not going to be able to set up the overhang correctly. And now top out is so cheesed up at the top of the board in a really, really dire spot. Still managing to find these skims, but they're not doing enough. He's not outpacing the amount of garbage he's receiving. And Sloppy Potatoes looking to seal the deal. And he will, bringing it up to match point for set number 1 of Stuyvesant versus Brooklyn Tech.
Top out 911 looking to just looking to bounce back after these couples losses just to give their unders a better chance at winning this matchup and trying to keep the Stuyvesant #2 win streak alive. Top out number 1 looking for a T-spin double setup, gets it, and is going to look for the T-spin triple, but misdrops the spin of the T and is now going to be pushed up really high. Is forced to skim out of their T-spin double setup into a bit of a down stack, and is currently in a much better position, but a missed opportunity there on behalf of Top Out 911.
All right, and here we go. This is a very, very interesting board state on the behalf of Top Out 911. They're looking for the TST, not going to be able to find it, and they skim out to avoid tanking so much garbage. But these sends keep on coming from Sloppy Potatoes. The back-to-back starting to build, and this LST-like pattern is going to do wonders for the APM here. 4 back-to-back online already. They're going to have to do some skimming eventually, but that time is not now. And in the now, Sloppy Potatoes is sending over a huge spike to Top Out 911, and they may need to call 911 if they can't fix up the stack. And yeah, that's going to be it. And a 6-point lead is what Sloppy Potatoes comes away with from set 1.
Yeah, just great performance from Sloppy Potatoes there. An extremely impressive performance. Top out number 1 with a couple unfortunate misdrops, but more so it was just the pressure and then the damage output from Sloppy Potatoes. We saw a couple 100+ APM games for Sloppy Potatoes, so definitely a great offensive player we have here.
Absolutely. Great T-spin vision and conversion there from what was a really messy stack to a perfectly clean send was a pretty common sight throughout that set, and that's going to do very, very well in those long extended games where there's a lot of cheese being passed around. But either way, that is the conclusion of our overs match, and now we will move on to our unders. This is a 1st to 20, and the starting score will be 10 for Stuyvesant. 10 for Brooklyn Tech and 4 for Stuyvesant.
Yes, so we'll just see if we can get both players ready soon, and yeah, but just thank you for everyone who showed up to the stream today, and we hope these matches will be as entertaining as possible. Definitely great rival schools to have playing today, Stuyvesant and Brooklyn Tech, the 2 big Tetris schools in New York City. So exciting matchups all around and very strong players we have today. Yeah, so just 1 second, we're waiting for our under for the Brooklyn Tech team to be ready. They are reloading the game. But just we should be able to get this match underway soon. Yes, we seem to have both unders ready, so we can start anytime. Just we need a confirmation from both.
All right. Wait, this is not. Okay. All right, here we go. We will, of course, be starting with our top outs. So this is going to be 6 on the side of JTEP. 10 on the side of JTEP, and only 4 on the side of Zinvade.
Alright, yeah, here we go. A 10 for advantage in favor of Brooklyn Tech once again. Just before the match starts, we know a slight advantage for JTEP, the Stuyvesant under player, with about roughly 2,000 more TR than Zinvade, but at their TR ranges, it is definitely possible for Zinvade to get a lot of wins off. So we'll have to see how this match turns out.
Absolutely, and it's important to remember that it's not just the skill of these players in a vacuum. That advantage definitely does matter. And even if you end up dropping more rounds than your opponent, if those goal lines are unevenly spaced enough, it could mean that you win the overall set regardless. Zinvade is going to be starting with a huge advantage here based off of the performance of the ogres. So it's not just about JTEP being better than Zinvade, it's about JTEP being 6 points better than Zinvade.
Yes, of course. Definitely a very interesting matchup to see. Now, just based off of previous performance that we've seen, JTEP, an extremely capable player of in just closing out the sets for the team. We saw Stuyvesant #2 on stream before. Impressive gameplay, just overall, and not one to choke too bad, I would say. But you know, as always, I'm rooting for the Stuyvesant team, but we don't have to talk about that too much because I'm definitely not supposed to be biased. Go, JTEP, you can do it. I believe in you.
Alright, and now we are only 2 top outs away on the side of JTEP. So this is getting pretty close to the main match. I am excited to see how this match ends up playing out. Do you think that Zinvade is going to try to take a more analytical approach and figure out a way past JTEP, or just try to sort of brute force their way in, do their game plan, and push as hard as they can to try to get the necessary points before JTEP can really adapt?
Given Zinvade's slight disadvantage in terms of what you could argue is skill, I would think Zinvade probably needs to make a couple adjustments in this matchup just to see how they can overcome this disadvantage state, potentially pick out openers or just certain game states to look for. It's definitely an interesting matchup. JTEP here just probably needs a bit of consistency and just great smooth gameplay with minimal mistakes, and they'll probably be fine in this matchup, while Zinvade would arguably have to do a little bit more work. But just our top outs are going to be completed soon, just 1 game away, and good luck to both players. We'll see how this turns out.
Alright, and here we go. We are getting into our set now. This is JTEP versus Zinvade. Brooklyn Tech, #1, up against Stuyvesant, #2. Here we go. TKI, like shape, on the side of Zinvade, not going to be able to get the T-spin off there. JTEP seems to have misdropped a lot of spaghetti in the opening. And now Zinvade going to be left with a bit of cheesy garbage underneath the board. Meanwhile, JTEP just trying to stack up the 6-3 and get some attacks started.
Right, a bit of a slow start for both players, neither one with too much ammo or damage already built up. JTEP right now currently working with the 6-3 stack. Zinvade gets a T-spin off and has follow-up T-spin potential. Chooses to skim a little bit, but still has the T-spin setup ready and takes it. Is going to look to probably downstack this, but a huge sends, a 10 spike from JTEP might spell disaster. The first game might go towards Stuyvesant of this match. Zinvade still alive for now, looking to get the skims, and will be able to get a quad out. It's looking like an okay and very livable position for the Brooklyn Tech player.
Absolutely amazing downstack coming out from Zinvade there. Survived all the way at the top by waiting to cancel with that TSD, and then finding the skims that led to the quad. Maybe not the fastest player, but got the speed advantage in this match, and they are using it to its fullest extent, getting out of danger very swiftly there. And now they're sitting on a ton of clean garbage. The question, though, is will they be able to access it before JTEP spikes them out? Seems like they're starting to get on the downstack once more here. They're looking for a skim to open up the well, and they find it. They get the quad as well, and now JTEP going to try and keep the pressure on, but it is the ball's in Zinvade's court. The opportunity is there for this offensive pressure to begin, and JTEP is sitting on a little bit of a misdrop. Great Z-spin fix, but still not in a position to try and spike out Zinvade at the moment.
JTEP right now really low on the board with the T-spin setup. Sent a little bit from Zinvade's quad, I believe, but JTEP still really low on the board, choosing to not send too much other than cheese to Zinvade's board, with a really clean stack of their own on JTEP's side, looking to exploit this, potentially. Looking for, doesn't get any T-spin setups out of it though, couldn't find the shapes, and has a slight misdrop of the Z on the left side, so Zinvade is going to be able to get out scot-free, and is now very low on their own board, all the way at the bottom, digging through everything that JTEP was sending.
Alright, JTEP was looking for the TSD. They're not going to be able to get it off that time, but they set up a TST follow-up. They need to cycle so hard for this eyepiece, though. Not going to leave their stack in a great position, but they get the C-spin off. 14 spike. Oh, but it's not enough to top out Zinvade immediately, and that could prove to be a fatal mistake on the part of JTEP as Zinvade gets out to this clean garbage, and JTEP's board is looking a little bit like me attempting Secret Grade at the moment. They get the T-spin double, they get the quad combo with the multiplier, and yeah, Zinvade able to pull it all the way back after that overcommitment from JTEP. And the first point of the set goes to Zinvade.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is great, like, down stack ability from Zinvade at the top of the board. Twice they were at the top in what seemed like a fatal position. They managed to get out, and the second time they got out with a huge spike. So a great gameplay from Zinvade there, but this game starting off with a lot of damage from JTEP. And as JTEP is going to put on the pressure, but Zinvade is still looking clean, still looking relatively safe. So just great play from both players right now. JTEP currently at the bottom of their board, Zinvade much higher up. Looking to get this down stack going, is almost able to access their well, does so, and gets a quad out of it for their troubles.
Alright, JTEP here, looking for that TSD. They find it, a good donation over the well. And now they're trying to get a little bit of APM started. They get another TSD off, and Zinvade has been pushed all the way to the top here. Stacking looking a little jagged for the multitude of O pieces they've got in queue at the moment. They're looking for some skims to find it. JTEP not able to find the last bit of pressure they need. They get a few skims, but now Zinvade is once again surviving. And this is the problem here that we've seen last round. JTEP not really able to close out with the spikes, only finding a single burst of damage, and that is allowing Zinvade to survive and survive and survive, and eventually JTEP will make a significant enough mistake for Zinvade to capitalize unless he decides to adapt and he figures out a way to get around Zinvade's survival.
Of course, Zinvade, incredible survival skills that we've seen so far, and it's now going to be open up their well pretty soon after taking a T-spin double. Oh, but slight misdrop of the Z piece forced Zinvade to take a little bit longer, have to compromise on their placements. Get out of this, now in an extremely precarious spot if JTEP can get sent, but JTEP's board is not exactly built to send or finish off Zinvade, and Zinvade, it looks like Zinvade's gonna get another way out in a second lease at life. Once again, great survival skills.
Alright, Zinvade though, not looking to have the best board at the moment. They managed to find a great TSD setup all the way at the top that opens up the well. Great find there from Zinvade, crucial and applied pressure. Absolutely amazing work, but will it be enough to close out the round? Well, that remains to be seen. Zinvade finding another skim, a combo to open up the well this time. And now JTEP pushed up to the top as well. Both players looking for a way down right now, struggling a little bit on the down stack. Zinvade, though, looking to be the first to emerge. Oh, but JTEP opens the well. Zinvade now finding some combos, but still accepting some garbage in the process. And JTEP is looking to make his way out with a nice count of 4 to open up the well.
Of course, JTEP currently at the bottom of the board though. Oh, and has just enough sends to finish Zinvade off. Zinvade looked like they might have had a chance at the top of the board for a second, but it's not going to prove fruitful. JTEP starting off with SDPC, the SDPC spin actually, extremely powerful opener. Zinvade looking to probably just cancel most of this garbage and send from JTEP. JTEP getting the continuation, trying to look for the STSD continuation, but doesn't get it and has to skim a little bit.
Absolutely, JTEP here going to be faced with a huge spike coming in from Zinvade if they don't have any way to prepare. They might be looking for a T-spin here. Zinvade, though, going to start sending things over. JTEP manages to find the TSD, though, and that's going to be great damage on the counter spike. Zinvade so cheesed up right now.
Yeah, very precarious spot at the top of the board for Zinvade. Was one piece away from being able to skim out of it, but just enough sends from JTEP. And taking taking 2 games to Zinvade's 1, but an overall advantage still on the side of Zinvade because of the play of their over Sloppy Potatoes. DT Cannon star from JTAP was trying to look for the PC potentially, but didn't get it. Zinvade right now, currently in the middle of their board, now pretty low on it, just choosing to cancel and skim away most of the attacks from JTAP.
JTAP has such a good opportunity here. Looking for the multiplier. Manages to find it into a combo. There's going to be a lot of cheese on Zinvade's board. Yeah, no cancel ready. Oh, JTAP not really able to cancel off that garbage though. And now Zinvade sitting pretty at the bottom of the board here while JTAP has to work through all of this cheese. Such a rough position there. And now we are getting into our minute of the match, our second minute of the match here, and Zinvade maybe looking to start some attacks off almost at the very bottom of the board once more. And now it's going to be, oh, JTAP though also looking very clean. And yeah, neither player really has a huge advantage over the other in this position, both just looking for a way to get some pressure started.
Yeah, a great T-spin single find from Zinvade, and it's going to be able to open up a quad well soon with the garbage. Takes a little longer to do so. Yeah, it's currently just skimming a little bit, just trying to look for this open. Struggling a lot, now had to compromise on the Z-piece placement to get it done, but does get the well open finally. JTAP had to take a T-spin 0 at the top just to fix their board state. Couldn't hold out any longer to try to set up for the T-spin double. And now both players are have kind of bad board states. But arguably JTAP with the J misdrop now in a much worse position. But Zinvade has no ammo, nothing built up. Builds a T-spin double frantically. Is it enough to finish JTAP off? JTAP still alive, clinging on for dear life. Zinvade looking for the quad, but doesn't get it. And it looks like JTAP's going to be able to get out with the quad. Great survival skills there from JTAP.
All right, good combo there though from Zinvade, also surviving. And now they have so much clean garbage. If they can access it, fiddling a little bit with the J piece there, but they managed to find the right spin. And now JTAP is being faced with a little more gravity and a lot more garbage. Going to be a, tough position to get out of. And now Zinvade is back at the bottom of the board. This is going to be a very, very rough time for JTAP if they don't manage to get out. But right as I say that, they are back at the very bottom of the board as well. And now Zinvade has such a great attack ready, but they make a misdrop on the LP to the last second, and that's going to cost them the T-spin double and the combo follow-up.
Zinvade right now just trying to get down from this a little bit of a precarious situation. JTAP was looking for some sort of attack there, but didn't seem to get it, and Zinvade is now out. Has a couple different wells ready to go in their stack. He's going to try to exploit this. Gets a quad off. But it's not too much damage onto the side of JTAP. But JTAP finds a great 13 spike to put a lot of damage onto Zinvade's board, but Zinvade is just trying to stack out. Gravity's starting to play a big factor in this game as we're going into near our 4th minute here, and both players seem to be struggling a little bit to deal with this. JTAP with the T-spin triple setup. Let's see if they're able to get it. Gets it off with the huge 7 attack, and that seems to be enough to finish Zinvade off. Yet another game for Stuyvesant.
Alright, JTAP slowly getting closer and closer to making a comeback in the set. Not like they've particularly lost a lot of games, but just the initial deficit posed such a big issue for them to overcome, but not an insurmountable one, and it seems like they're doing that already 3 points closer to tying it up against Zinvade. Zinvade here was able to take an early game, but hasn't gotten much more than that. And now it seems like JTAP is starting to figure them out. If you are Zinvade here, what do you do? How do you adapt to JTAP?
I think Zinvade is playing in such a way that they could beat JTAP, but it is a bit dependent on JTAP's own failures or just like mistakes. And maybe if Zinvade can find bigger or better attacks, this match would end up differently. But currently, just both players playing a bit comfortably, just in the middle of their stacks. JTEP sent high, but it's nothing too dangerous because they have a great down stack available, and Zinvade doesn't have a lot of garbage to work with.
Absolutely, but what JTEP has is a lot of cheese to get through before they reach this clean, and Zinvade sending over that T-spin double going to prove a very, very immediate threat for them to address. Looking for a second T-spin double, they managed to get it off, but JTEP has skimmed a few lines in the meantime, and now they're going to survive and get that quad off with the clean garbage they have access to. Ooh, but Zinvade, again, keeping this pressure on when JTEP is at the top of the board. This is how you do it. This is how you adapt to an opponent who's constantly keeping you on the back foot. You don't give them the opportunity to. They're not letting JTEP get started, or they weren't, but now it seems that JTEP has got a big 9-0 stack brewing, and Zinvade is all the way at the top of the board. Not a great position, and yeah, they're caught unawares by that send, and that's going to seal the deal. 8-11, JTEP Zinvade.
Yeah, just unfortunate stacking at the top of the board for Zinvade. Looking for a way out, just couldn't find it. JTEP starting off this game once again with SDPC spin. Zinvade has a T-spin double setup, ready to cancel, gets it off, and is looking to skim out, get to their well. Will be able to do so. JTEP couldn't find the ideal continuations for their opener, and is going to have to settle a little bit for this floating T-spin setup.
Alright, this is going to be a lot of garbage being sent over to JTEP. They accept, and now they've got a lot of clean to work with. Zinvade skimming out right now, looking for a way to get back to this garbage. Oh, but speaking of garbage, huge spike from JTEP all the way at the bottom of the board. There was PC potential there, but not the right cue for it. And now Zinvade is going to have an opportunity to downstack through all of this. And downstack they do, getting into a lot of cheese at the moment, but trying to make it down, covers the well. JTEP, though, no TPs to finish off this TSD. Oh, but Zinvade misdrops at the very top. Both players spaghettiing a little bit, but yeah, Zinvade in a much more fragile position, going to face the consequences there as JTEP takes another one.
Yeah, just unfortunate misdrop at the top of the board for Zinvade there is going to close out the set for close out the game for them. Sorry, but this start here a little bit strange for Zinvade. A T-spin 0, probably looking for some sort of tank or cancel. But JTEP with the DT cannon now putting a lot of garbage onto Zinvade's board. Zinvade choosing to cover up their well temporarily. Probably, but yeah, no, but the huge sends from JTEP were just too much, and there was just a bad position from Zinvade caught in a tough spot, and that's 10-11, only one game away from JTEP.
Okay, it is almost tied up, and you know what that means. It is time for Zinvade to lock in. If there's ever a moment when you have got to figure out a way past your opponent, it is right now. You need to push this advantage to its limits, and right now, the only thing that's looking limited is JTEP's ability to, is Zinvade's ability to downstack these spikes. But, I don't know, I gotta say, Zinvade seems a little nervous with these misdrops, with these placements, and JTEP, despite having a little bit slower speed, is doing a great job of holding out against the onslaught and finding that exact opening that they need to capitalize on the misdrops of Zinvade.
Yeah, what we saw from Zinvade's first game was just incredible downstacks and you just taking advantage of sends from JTEP, but it's just they haven't been able to do that really ever since. Just too many misdrops are just like not finding the downstacks they need. So we have to see Zinvade being able to respond and getting what they found in the first game, frankly, but this yet another game for JTEP, it seems like, and yeah, tying it back up for Stuyvesant.
Alright, and for the first time in this match, we see a tie. And that is bad news bears for Zinvade. That means that you need to pick up the pace. But JTEP not going to find the PC there, going to give Zinvade an opportunity to respond without the threat of too much garbage being sent over at once. Starting to build up this 9-0 stack, but Zinvade going to not be too bothered by it, skimming all the way back down to the bottom of the board, and now sending over that T-spin double and looking for another one. but unfortunately makes a Z misdrop on top instead, and an O misdrop. What has gone from an amazing situation is suddenly a disaster, and now JTEP has an opportunity to capitalize with that garbage for the TSD, and they set up a TST as well. That's going to be JTEP taking the lead for the first time in this set.
It's just great consistency and damage from JTEP. Just put on enough pressure to finish Zinvade off that time, and Zinvade just a huge unfortunate misdrop. JTEP looking for some sort of setup there, but didn't seem to find what they needed. Choosing to just skim out and access their well from the garbage Zinvade sent over. JTEP trying to find this T-piece for the T-spin double. Had to stack really high on the left side to be able to get it. Great donation here from Zinvade of the T-spin double. It's going to find a downstack quad out of it too, but JTEP in a pretty safe position overall. Nothing to be worried about.
Okay, JTEP sitting on a very, very clean stack at the moment. Unfortunately, makes an eye dependency there. Could cut back-to-back early, and yeah, but they still have this clean stack. Great opportunity to send lines over to... Oh, a Zinvade who was very ready to accept, honestly. Seems like they had a great plan for canceling off some of that garbage when it mattered most, and dealing effectively with the down stack in order to maintain a good position. Great situational awareness there coming out from Zinvade, but what's even greater right now is the amount of lines that JTEP is sending over, not being stopped by a little bit of a counter spike from Zinvade, even though they are at the bottom of the board. Seems like JTEP is still ready to send despite all of the cheese, and they do some skimming out, and they might be looking for that TSD there. It's another great opportunity for them to send, but they make a rough Z placement and then an S misdrop to top it off, and now Zinvade is the one who has the opportunity to capitalize if they can make it through the misdrops that they have on their board.
Yeah, Zinvade right now just choosing to skim out of it, but JTEP super cheesed up just due to their own misdrops. A huge opportunity here for Zinvade. Gets a quad off, looking for a T-spin double, gets it, but it's looking like JTEP skimmed down just enough where that won't be too much of a threat. But does need to get something going before even more cheese is placed on their board by Zinvade. And Zinvade just slowly pushing JTEP up. JTEP having to compromise on placements, just looking for a way out desperately. Zinvade with the 9-0 stack, gets one quad off, looking for another soon, gets it, skims out of it, and into a T-spin double setup, and yeah, that's just going to be too much for JTEP to handle. Zinvade finally getting another game on the board for themselves, bringing it back to 12-12.
Alright, tied up once more. Zinvade showing that they may be down, or were down, but not out of it yet, so... going to be a very crucial game for them to take to maintain this tie here. JTEP having misdropped the DT cannon prior twice now. That one wasted a T-piece as well, and that S misdrop is going to be just brutal here. Not going to be a great round for JTEP, and if there's any sends at all from Zinvade here, should be enough to close it out, but JTEP's getting time right now, and what a great S-spin fix, and now JTEP is suddenly out. It doesn't look so bad anymore. Great downstacking there from JTEP.
Yeah, just an extremely impressive showing from JTEP there. A great defensive player of their own. Zinvade not able to capitalize in time. Looking for a 9-0 there, but couldn't get it off in time. JTEP now trying to open up their well potentially. Yeah, looking for some sort of T setup. Going for this single donation, but it turns into a T-spin 0. Just misjudging of the board there for JTEP, but they should be able to get out of it relatively quickly. They're not too high on the board, not too dangerous of position. Zinvade just shooting to convert into a 9-0 stack, but being such a huge amount of cheese, looking like a secret grade on their board, that garbage, and a misdrop from Zinvade is not going to bode well to get out of this.
Absolutely, at the very top of the board right now, and JTEP looking to close it out with that 9-0, and they are able to retake the lead once more, 13-12. 7 points away from taking it home and winning the overall match for Stuyvesant team number 2.
Yeah, once again, starting off with STPC on the side of JTEP. Zinvade, once again, just choosing to probably tank and cancel. Slight misdrop with the Z piece on the side of the board, but it shouldn't prove too dangerous if they can get out quickly. Yeah, it does have the piece to get out. Misdrop with the S, unfortunate, but they do still have the well on the left side to work with.
Absolutely. JTEP sitting on what was 4 back-to-back, but will likely not stick around too long unless they're able to find a great fix like that one. The 180J, not something you see an A+ rank do every day, but it has been put to excellent use there by JTEP. 6 back-to-back going to be more than enough pressure to top out Invade.
Yeah, extremely creative stacking there from JTEP. Like, yeah, like you said, very not what you expect from an A+ rank. So great stuff. And JTEP once again with the DT cannon opener, looking to start off this game off with some damage, building up a little bit of back-to-back, but it has to skim out, unfortunately. But does have the well afterwards for their troubles, and is going to slowly make their way down.
Alright, JTEP here, wastes T on the overhang, but still sitting pretty on a little bit of back-to-back and a low to the board position. Invade low to the board in their own right, though, and now they've got a little bit of clean garbage, courtesy of that send from JTEP. Speaking of JTEP sitting on a very interesting board position, not the easiest to skim out of. And yeah, JTEP going to have to do some extra stacking before finding that color clear and the down stack on the way out. Invade getting some clean garbage sent over. Great opportunity to open up the well here, but they've used 2 T-pieces already, not going to give an opportunity to do T-spins with the rest of them. And they will instead opt to skim out until they're at this 9-0-like shape. That quad going to cancel, and JTEP stacking up some T-spins. Bit greedy though, and they do decide to abandon it in favor of just skimming down and lessening the garbage they are about to receive. Playing it safe here.
Zinvade missing PC, mid-game PC with the T and the O there. It's just kind of hard to see. JTEP right now currently sitting with a T-spin double into a quad for the 10 spike, but Zinvade just a ton of clean garbage now to work with and have the open well ready to go, but is this pressure from JTEP going to be too much? And it is. JTEP just great sends there following up their spikes. Invade looked like they had a good position there, but couldn't get to their eyepieces in time. They needed to downstack that. JTEP looking to start off with what looked somewhat like STPC, but it seems to have misdropped it. Zinvade right now, clean 9-0 stack, chooses to cancel the sends from JTEP instead of tank. And yeah, it's looking to just make their way down, it seems like. Yeah, and it's going to access this little spot right here for a T-spin double setup. Has to waste the T to do so, and it's choosing to skim out of it. The pieces weren't great. And yeah, just looking for another T-spin double setup.
Alright, JTEP may have had a little bit of a PC there, but that one line of garbage going to put an end to any all-clear prospects that JTEP may have had. Ooh, but what JTEP does have, though, is this down stack and a lot of clean garbage now. Some clean stacking as well coming out from JTEP. They get the quad off, and now they've got an 0-9 stack on top of it, and Zinvade is all the way at the top of the board. Just use the Elpis on the down stack, not going to have another one, but they do manage to open up the well. Question is, what will they do now that it's open? And the answer is, unfortunately, still get topped out, as they were just a bit too slow on the draw for that down stack.
Yeah, just unfortunate timing there on the part of Zinvade. Just didn't get enough. Couldn't get to the pieces fast enough. Great JTEP, great finish there. Gets the PCO. But that's just a lot of garbage onto Zinvade. Very clean garbage, in fact. And now they have a lot of potential here, but choose to skim out instead of taking big spikes. Slight S misdrop on the side of JTEP, but it shouldn't be too bad. We'll be able to get out of it quickly. Gets the great J spin to fix their board. And yeah, but Zinvade right now trying to put on a little bit of pressure. A little bit of a cheesy send, and JTEP now going to have a bit of a hard time getting out of this. And Zinvade's trying to put on a bit of pressure with this T-spin setup.
Absolutely, Zinvade doing so much power stacking for this T-spin double, but they do get it off, and after that huge amount of cheese that they sent over, it's going to be very tough for JTEP to deal with, but they have a cancel at the right time, and they have a skim out, which they do take in a combo. Canceling off the incoming garbage. And now JTEP has, would have had a combo once more, but instead opts to skim and then do a count to 4. A very interesting decision there. And now they are out with another quad, and Zinvade is sitting on a little bit of misdropping, a bit of a shaky stack here. Going to be something that needs fixing up now before JTEP has a chance to start up this pressure, which we're already seeing.
Yeah, JTAP right now with sitting on a lot of clean garbage, and Zinvade needs to get out soon. We'll have a lot if they're able to get out of this position, but it just doesn't, just too many cents from JTAP, and just not quick enough of a down stack from Zinvade. And yeah, once again, just a signature JTAP win, pushing Zinvade all the way up and getting just enough to finish them off. Zinvade seems to have misdropped what appeared to might have been PCO. But just trying to get out of this position. So JTAP with the clean 9-0.
Okay, Zinvade speeding up quite a bit here, going very fast, but that's the price you pay for speed is misdrops, and they make one right there with that S piece. JTAP though making a Z misdrop, so both players a bit rough right now in terms of the stack quality. JTAP converts it into a T-spin double though, and Zinvade is already pretty high up on the board. Great cancel with the 5 combo there. And now JTAP has an opportunity to send, but a bit of a weird board to convert off of.
JTAP right now looking to finish Zinvade off, but Zinvade got the pieces they needed to open up a little for a second there, but now having to compromise on placements. Oh, couldn't use the T. Still looking to get out. Opens up the well and is able to survive for now, but still in a bit of a precarious spot, looking to find the skims they need, find the skims to get out of this. Still struggling, can't find anything yet. Still alive somehow, but no, the sends from JTAP are just too much, and that's yet another game for JTAP. Only 2 away from closing out the set in favor of Stuyvesant.
Absolutely incredible showing from JTAP, having more than quadrupled his score in the time that it took Zinvade to get just 2 points. An incredible testament to the ability of JTAP, proving why Stein #2 has that undefeated record. It is not just about the stronger player, and the stronger player in this case does not always mean the player with the higher rank, as JTAP is clearly a plenty strong player, having come back from such a deficit, and that is truly an amazing ability and a great asset to have in this round robin stage of the tournament. And right now, the asset that JTAP has is this T-spin single setup, and Zinvade is stuck in a really bad board to down stack with, looking for some skims down, but not really able to get anything started in terms of combos. JTAP gets the quad off, a little bit of back-to-back is there. They do decide to skim though instead, and that is going to mean that Zinvade may have one last lease on life here for this round. And yeah, they get a nice combo down all the way to this clean garbage with the 4 combo into the quads, and now JTAP is the one who has to find a way out and fast.
Zinvade speeding up right now, trying to find the sends to kill off JTAP, but JTAP still alive. Forced to use the eye there. Is going to look for a T-spin double at the top of the board to cancel out. Zinvade just tanking it, but Zinvade just doesn't have the sends necessary to finish JTAP off, and looks like JTAP might be able to get out of this. But oh no, still a big send from Zinvade there, but still not enough to finish JTAP off. JTAP once again alive, getting the count to 4, and now has a huge amount of clean garbage to work with.
Alright, going to be great for Zinvade if they can convert here. Oh, but what a rough misdrop that they make with that L piece. Going to put an end to any prospect of APM, but they still get a double quad off the I pieces in Q, and that is going to catch JTAP by surprise for sure. Bring it up to 13. Not out of this match yet.
Yeah, just the unfortunate timing there. JTAP was greeting a little bit for a count to 4 at the top. It just proves fatal. JTAP going for a reliable TSD, but seems to have misdropped the J afterwards, and is looking to be able to downstack out of this. Zinvade trying to look for the sends, but yeah, no, JTAP got out of it way faster, and it looks to be a perfectly safe position. Zinvade just struggling a little bit, had a huge speed deficit right now. Just looking to get their way out. We'll be able to do so and get this cancel off of JTAP's call, but JTAP already having built up a little bit of back-to-back.
Okay, Zinvade here, looking at a pretty clean board at the moment. Burns the eyepiece there prior to opening it up to the clean garbage, and they are stacking over the well a little bit, but JTAP not in any particular position to clear out all of the cheese that they're sitting on. Yeah, sitting on a lot of Z pieces right now in Q as well. Not going to be the easiest to stack with, but they maintain a pretty clean stack. Gets the TSD off into a little bit of a send to Zidvade, but the difference looking at these boards is very evident. One is full of clean garbage and the other is so cheesy, and this is going to be a very good opportunity for Zidvade if they manage to survive through the onslaught of pressure from Jacob.
Great, precarious spot there for Zidvade. Got the skims they needed. Oh, but the misdrop of the JPs perhaps, and still alive for now, but yeah, no, just couldn't find the pieces they needed there. And JTEP brings it to match point in favor of Stuyvesant. And Zidvade needing 7 in a row to win for Brooklyn Tech. Definitely an uphill battle, but not impossible. We'll see how Zidvade can respond in this situation.
Alright, it seems the first thing they're going to do to respond is accept a little bit of clean garbage off the opener phase. That DT cannon coming in. JTEP looking, considering, and does opt for the Kaidan here. Going to get the quad off as well, and Zidvade is all the way at the top, but not in a rough stack, so could get access to a lot of clean garbage very soon. They do a little bit of skimming out, but they make it such an unfortunate misdrop with the T piece at the last second, and that is all JTEP needs to close it out for Stuyvesant number 2, taking it 20-13.
Yeah, great set there from both teams. It was it looked extremely close for a while there. So congratulations to Stuyvesant for Stuyvesant number 2 for winning this game. Let's see if we can get well, it looks like there's going to be no interviews, but we will be able to get to our later matches soon. So we will be taking a short intermission, but the next match will be the Stuyvesant number 3 versus Brooklyn Tech number 3 teams. So stay tuned, everyone, for that. And yeah, see you in about 5 minutes. Just apologies to everyone. We have gotten word that our second match of today, which was planned to be Stuyvesant number 3 versus number 3, will not happen due to a player not being available. Apologies to everyone, but thank you for tuning into the stream. Thank you for watching and coming to another Easy Esports Tetrio Division event here. We will be back next week, hopefully with 2 matches next time. But just once again, apologies for the confusion and the delays today. Due to scheduling and player conflicts, but yeah, we appreciate everyone who did show up, and yeah, see you.